Greek civilization started on the islands and the peninsulas of the country we now know as Greece. Two ancient peoples, the Minoans and the Mycenaeans, laid the foundation of Greek civilization. The Minoans. The Minoans lived on the island of Crete. They were a very advanced civilization for that time in history. They had a strong navy and were very good sailors. Located in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, they traded with mainland Greece, other Greek islands, Egypt, and Sicily. The Minoan king, Minos, lived in the capital city of Knossos in a palace with 1,500 rooms. It was a beautiful palace, but during Minoan times, even poor people on the island of Crete had 4-room houses with running water for drinking and bathing and bathrooms that flushed. This was a very advanced civilization. The ancient Minoans had a written language, but more importantly, they left paintings on the walls of the palace at Knossos that showed the daily life of these ancient people. Some walls were painted with pictures of starfish and water scenes, as you would expect from a civilization that lived on an island. Around 1700 BC, an earthquake hit Crete. Much of the Minoan civilization was destroyed. The Minoans rebuilt. Around 1500 BC, a volcano erupted near the island of Crete. Tidal waves followed the eruptions. The Minoans might have been wiped out by natural disaster or by war. There were warrior tribes on the mainland of Greece, but scholars believe that tidal waves certainly weakened them. Whatever the cause, around 1500 BC, this civilization disappeared from the island of Crete. The storytellers in ancient Greece loved to tell stories about the ancient Minoans. Some of the stories were about the mythical creature, the Minotaur, a mix of man and beast who supposedly lived on the island of Crete long, long ago. The Mycenaeans. As the interesting Minoan civilization disappeared due to natural disasters or losses in war, a new tribe, the Mycenaeans, came to power on the Greek mainland. The Mycenaeans believed themselves to be great warriors. They fought with everyone with whom they came in contact. Some people think that they might have been responsible for the disappearance of the Minoan civilization. They fought with stone weapons. The Mycenaean age is sometimes called the heroic age or the age of heroes. This is because much of their art shows single warriors performing heroic things, sometimes in war and sometimes against wild animals. The legend of the Trojan War is from the Mycenaean age. We know quite a bit about the ancient Mycenaeans because they wrote things down. We know, for example, they worshipped a great many gods. The ancient Mycenaeans prayed to their gods for help. They expected their gods to take care of them as long as they said the right words in the right way. The Dark Ages. Not long after the Trojan War, civilization in Greece declined. Life continued, but poverty was everywhere. People raised their own food and stopped trading. People focused on survival. They even forgot the practice of writing. These years from 1100 BC to 750 BC are known as Greece's Dark Ages. Traditions and history were kept alive by word of mouth. Myths and stories were passed orally from generation to generation because no one wrote things down. Eventually, people settled in villages, and villages grew into cities. By around 750 BC, Greek city-states began to form, and Greece started to come out of the Dark Ages. After reading the passage and watching all of the videos, Answer the following questions in full sentences. Number 1. What was one thing the Minoan and the Mycenaean civilizations have in common? Number 2. What was one way the Minoan and the Mycenaean civilizations differed? And number 3. Why do you think so many aspects of Minoan civilizations are found at Mycenae?